Hey guys, I want to record a video on the build I'm using to run and test my tier 17 strats with. This is an Ice Nova Archmage. Now, that's because some people asked. If you're not one of the people who asked, who cares? Sorry. But hey, this is the update to my build. Now, this build is no crit, no Mage Blood, no svalinn version. Part of it is because I was lazy and that's just what I started with. I wanted to make it work. I've made it work. I made it into a comfy T17 runner. So I'm just going to showcase how it works. It's got some expensive items, but the majority of items I have are not. And also it's got some very, very cheap budget items that I've got. I think I've got some items for like day 2 of the league. And I've just kind of played a bit till now. You can also substitute the expensive items, so I'm going to go over that in a second as well. This is how the build clears Abomination. So my usual time for clearing is about 3 to 4 minutes. It's pretty stable. Right, guys, it's time to go over the build in Puff Exile. So now, just to preface, some of these things are expensive, but you can swap them out just fine. I'll talk about that in a second for every expensive item that I've got. So just to start with, I've got the ones, they're both haunted by tormented spirits. This is a 70, 80 div, whatever. It's quite expensive enchant. If you can afford it, that's obviously good. Don't put it in the bad one though. So this one I have is pretty decent. Second one I have is not very decent. So I just put the enchant on it just to experiment with it. I wanted to see what it is. And this one was kind of fine for me. So because of the level 2 lightning spell skill gems. So yeah. But if you can't put it on your wand or you don't want to, you can try it with the high spell damage roll. That's just fine. Kitab's first with lightning damage leashes life. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Deer is feeble, so we've got the catalyst on it for life mana mods, and then inveterate. That's important to cap the spell suppress and also boost the spell suppress a bit, so that's a bit good. This ring, it's very scuffed. Look, I got it like day 2 of the league, but look, it works. I'm loyal to it, so I don't want to swap it out. This ring as well, it's got a low mana roll. You could definitely get a better one for a few div. I've got the belt. So this belt, high dex roll, decent mana, good life, etc. So once again, there's nothing special. It's pretty standard for Stygian Vice. So you won't have a problem finding this for cheap. I've got gloves with pretty high spell suppress roll, otherwise pretty standard. It's got double res, it's got chaos res, max life, max mana. And now I've got the exceptional Eldritch Implicit. So if you can't afford that or you don't want to put that, that's fine. What you do if you have a lower spell suppress is you have to go into your tree, and instead of getting the cluster jewels from here, you basically just have to take more nodes from here, which give you spell suppress. They also give you lightning damage, so hey, I mean, it's still going to give you some DPS. Now, the boots as well, I mean, literally what you'd expect from this. Nothing interesting here. Now, I've got the Progenesis Flask. If you can't afford it, I don't know, put some utility flask on. You can probably put the armor utility flask on yourself, and that's going to make it a bit better. You can also, if you can't cap the spell suppress, you can use the flask that gives you spell suppress. The problem with that is during the boss fights, you're going to be uncapped if you rely on the flask. So, hey, I got the Explodey Flask as well, so that's quite nice for clearing. If you, once again, can't afford it or you don't want to put it on, just swap it for some utility flask here. Now, the other expensive item I have is the Watcher's Eye with double things for clarity and ref. If you can't afford this one, because this one is going to be like 30 div, just get the, I mean, you can get either clarity or ref. And you can get a different one for ref as well. There's one that increases lightning damage. This actually might be better for this build, but I haven't tested it. PoE says not, but I want to test it anyways. Otherwise, yeah, I mean, pretty straightforward. Now, this is level 99. If you're not level 99, hey, there's the cluster jewel that you can take notes from. And you can also, depending on the gear you have, if you want to go a bit more budget, you just put more spell suppress nodes in here. Right, guys, let's go over the path of building stuff here quick. So the DPS is decent. Look, not some hype beast that kills the boss in 1 second, I know. But it kills it fast enough. You definitely don't feel like you're lacking DPS ever. So that's good for me. The rest is capped. The spell suppress is capped. Now look, this is very important to cap. Why? Because if you uncap it, so example, take one of these nodes, you'll see that the HP goes down quite a lot, especially the fizz max hit. And this is very important when you're trying to survive against very annoying TS17 mobs, like the the porcupines that shoot needles at you when they die. So annoying. If you don't cap the spell suppress, what happens is that so obviously the PoE, it calculates the max hit from uncapped spell suppress in this case, and your max hit is going to be quite a bit lower. I recommend to cap it, and that's what really made the difference to make this build comfy for me, is to cap the spell suppress. Now, depending on your gear, you might want to take more nodes here, and you want to untake some nodes from here, also depending on your level. Yeah, I mean, as you can see, the EHP is quite high as well. It's not low at all. I would say this build is quite comfy. This is not like, so Svalinn can face tank bosses. This build cannot face tank bosses. It can to an extent, but it can't do it forever, like Svalinn can do. Just keep that in mind. But hey, I think it's quite decent for what it is. Right, guys. Thanks for watching this. That's just my update. Look, I know it's not min-maxed, but hey, that's just what it is. Maybe for someone running a no-crit version, this is going to be helpful in some way. Maybe not. If you like the content, I appreciate a subscription. If not, you can dislike it. That's also fine. You can leave a hate comment. Hey, that's fine with me. But yeah, thanks for watching.